Everybody, and welcome to Comics from the Future. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is our really big show where we show you some of the biggest and best books that you can pre-order by this weekend. Your pre-orders are due Sunday evening, Sunday night, over at infinityflux.net, where you can place those pre-orders so you don't miss out on any of the comic goodness. That is why we're here.
Mhm.
That is why we do what we do.
Yep, absolutely.
We do the good work.
The good it's great work. It's awesome work.
But we got a great show for you today. Just a little reminder, Free Comic Book Day, May 4th, coming up. And should be tomorrow, we will be releasing our big Free Comic Book Day video extravaganza.
We read them all.
We read them all, so you don't have to. So you can pick and choose which ones that you want to read.
Right.
But always a really popular video for us, and hope you get something out of it. But that is coming up tomorrow. But today, we're talking about books that come out
like end of May,
May.
It's a little 1st of June, something like that.
Yeah, so get your pre-orders in, but let's get it going, starting with our featured comics.
We're going to start with Midnight Suns Blood Hunt #1. We are getting into all of the Blood Hunt tie-ins now. Blood Hunt #1 coming out next Wednesday on May 1st. And now we've got a whole bunch of tie-ins coming up over the next few weeks. This one is written by Brian Hill. The art is by German Peralta. And this is going to feature the original Midnight Suns reuniting. You can see their Blade, Ghost Rider. I don't know which Ghost Rider that is. That looks like the Nightstalkers on the bottom, but I might be wrong. But it's the original Midnight Suns coming back to deal with the vampire threat plaguing the world. But they have to do something first, and that is defeating Blade. I don't know why they have to defeat Blade. He's supposed to be with them, so I'm not really sure what that's all about. But you can see Ghost Rider taking him on the cover there, so we'll just have to read to see what that's all about. But yeah, if you're excited about Blood Hunt, we will be talking about the first issue next Wednesday, and then on May 29th, or a few days before May 29th, when this comes out, we'll be talking about this one as well. So we have our A cover right here. We have a blood red blank variant. You'll see a couple more of these. We have a Dave Watcher variant, and then there is a Declan Shalvey variant.
It's interesting because right now the hood is Ghost Rider.
Right.
So I wonder how this kind of lines up with what's going on in Ghost Rider's world.
Yeah, and that is it's the Demon Zarathos that is usually the Ghost Rider in Johnny Blaze or Danny Ketch. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he
read it to find out.
Yeah, maybe it's a different demon, or who knows.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to digging into the #1 to really see what all this is about.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got another Blood Hunt. This is Black Panther Blood Hunt #1. This is by Cheryl Lynn Eaton and art by Fareed Karami. And this sounds really interesting. One, you can kind of get a little hint from the cover. It's not going to go well for Black Panther. I'm guessing this will probably happen in Blood Hunt #1.
Probably.
Because this is spinning out of the events of Blood Hunt. T'Challa has found himself transformed into a vampire and tasked with a mission by the vampire overlord. I'm guessing that's probably one of those, that group of vampires we saw that are going to be the big antagonists of this. But it's hard to tell when they say that even as a vampire, Black Panther has duties in Wakanda for better or worse. So I wonder, mentally is he driven just by being a vampire?
Well, and what duties does he have in Wakanda? Because I thought he wasn't the king anymore, and he was sort of an outcast. Like, I don't know.
Is he, can he not control himself?
I don't know.
What? Because, Black Panther would be the last person who would work for a big villain or whatever. So, be interesting to see, but I think this sounds really cool. We've got our A cover here. We also have the Blood Red Blank variant. We have the Davy Go variant. And we have the Woo Marvel Comics Presents variant.
Next is Ultimate Spider-Man #5. #4 came out this week, and it through dialogue, I thought it helped to really sort of build out this world a little bit more. Meeting Harry and Gwen, this Earth's version of them anyway. In this one, it's all about the secret history of Harry Osborn. How did he become the masked vigilante, now known as the Green Goblin. And what does he know about the true status of the world that they all live in? Sounds like, and actually got a sense of that from issue number 4, that both he and Gwen know a little bit more about some things than it might seem. But I guess we'll get more of that in this issue. But yeah, still continues to be really great. I saw somebody made an observation the other day that this book is cool because Green Goblin in this is more the established hero than Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
And he became the Green Goblin through tragedy, not so much Spider-Man. So it's kind of a nice, flip-flop of things. But yeah, next issue coming up here. So that's the A cover right here. We have a Leonardo Romero cover. I like that one a lot.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really feel the height of them in that one.
Yeah. And then there is a Manhanini Ultimate Special variant. And that's kind of like what we sort of saw this in number 4 with Ben and Jonah babysitting the kids.
Yeah. Which, the surprising bits of Ultimate Spider-Man that I love the most is Jonah and Ben's story.
Yeah.
Just the smaller moments, not the big fights, but just the really in-depth stuff. So, very cool. Next up, we've got Superman number 14. This is going to be House of Brainiac Part 4. And this one sounds really cool because it's Superman versus Lobo. They're talking that they're going to be teaming up, but that can't last long. The two are never going to work well together. So, because it looks like Lobo has betrayed Superman, which I'll be interested to see because Lobo definitely also felt like in the first parts of this kind of on the outs as well from his Zarnian brethren and everything. But we'll see what it is. But all of this, are they going to be too distracted to notice that the Brainiac Queen is alive? So it looks like the Brainiacs are going to... It's not going to be the end of this story by the time the Queen Brainiac is awakened. So I'm very excited to hear about that. We've also got, coming up on our Monday show, we're going to be going over the Superman House of Brainiac special. I feel like we're going to get a lot of answers in this.
I think so too, yeah. I'm excited for that one. I'm really excited for that.
Loving this crossover between Superman and action. And we know it's going to be a major part in the Absolute Power storyline coming up. So very cool stuff here. This is our A cover. We also have this Salvador LaRocca variant. We've got this Dave Johnson variant. And we've got this Carla Cohen variant.
Next is Rook Exodus number 2. The first issue, I loved it so much. It was my favorite of all the new Ghost Machine books so far. This is number 2, where Rook continues to scavenge the planet to try to find a way off the planet. But he's gonna get interrupted by the power-hungry Bear Master known as Ursaw. And we saw him right at the very end of the first issue. So, hopefully we'll get a lot more of him because he looks super cool. He will stop at nothing to rule all of Exodus, so, or whatever's left of it. So I guess he's maybe not such a good guy. And also, the question is posed, who is Dire Wolf, and is she Rook's friend or enemy? They look pretty friendly on the cover right there, like you said on Wednesday. But we know from the preview, the Ghost Machine preview book, that they have a past, and maybe they were allies at one point, and they had a falling out. So we'll have to see what that's all about. But I can't wait. I can't wait for this to really get things going. So this is our A cover, and then we have a B cover. Also, both of them are by Jason Fabok.
Yeah, and I'm excited about this because I love the first issue, but like with first issues of anything, it's establishing, it's doing all that. This is a world that I want to see the expanse of.
Yeah.
Because we've only really seen a very narrow bit of it, but with all those masks, who's ruling where, all that kind of stuff.
And we know that there's still a whole bunch more Wardens that we still haven't seen after the preview book, after issue number 1, probably even after this one. There's still going to be more Wardens.
I think we've only seen maybe 4.
Yeah, there's a lot more than that.
Okay, next up we have X-Men Wedding Special number 1. This is kind of this year's version of the Marvel Voices Pride issue, but I really like this. Instead of it being like a collection of short stories like the previous ones, this actually kind of has a in-continuity reason and story. So this is the wedding of Mystique and Destiny. 2 characters whose in Marvel Universe have been around for over 100 years. Have had very kind of on again, off again, through all of the craziness of the mutant world. But At some point they got married, and I'm not sure if they've even like hinted at when that took place. I think they just kind of like mentioned it
Yeah.
after the fact. But we are going to finally see that now. We're going to see that wedding, and it's going to be crazy. For this complex couple, there's going to be wedding crashers. There's going to be heroes and villains there. So I'm excited to see what all of this is about.
Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn are going to show up, crashing
If I was
weddings.
the artist, it would be really hard not to
Oh,
draw them
sneak
in
him
the
in the background.
background.
Oh, that'd be great.
But sounds really interesting. We've got our A cover here. We've got a Jessica Fong cover. We've got, I love this. This is the Luciano Vecchio cover.
Yeah.
We've got also a Russell Dodderman variant.
Next is Scarlet Witch #1. There's a new Scarlet Witch #1 coming. Still written by Steve Orlando, the artist by Jacopo Camagni. The Scarlet Witch, she has a haven in upstate New York, and it's about to go up in flames. So that doesn't sound good. Although I guess she could sort of wave her hand and fix
That's what
it.
she did to her bookstore.
Yeah, I mean the bookstore got demolished in her first series, and she fixed it like with super easy. But her newfound piece has drawn the wrath of a primal force unlike anything she's ever seen before, and it will stop at nothing to destroy her world. I don't know who or what that is, but I guess we'll find out. So we have this A cover here. We have a David Go Pride variant. There is a Jenny Frison variant. Looks really good. There's a Craig Russell. This is a foil variant, so that's going to... And that kind of looks like 90s Scarlet Witch, too. Looks cool. There's a Scotty Young, because you can't have a #1 without a Scotty Young cover. And then there is a Tran Nguyen variant as well.
Next up, we've got Edge of the Spider-Verse #4. And this one is big because this is the comic debut of the Spider-Woman from Across the Spider-Verse movie. So this universe, I don't think they ever gave her like a designation.
Earth. Like the Earth she comes from? Yeah. I don't think so.
But we're going to be seeing her. I'm interested to see, too, is she going to be just straight joining up with maybe another Spider-Verse character? Or are we going to see what her world that she comes from is like?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, she'll definitely figure into the whole, what do they call, what's that storyline with Spider-Man 2099 and the Spider Society or something like that? Yeah. Like, she'll definitely be part of that.
Yeah, she'll definitely be part of that, but it'll be cool to see, is there a Spider-Man in her universe? Is she the lone spider person taking on all the villains? All of that kind of stuff I'm interested to see. But this is going to be by Nyla Magruder and Marcus Williams, who is doing the new Popeye book for Free Comic Book Day. And they're also working with the filmmakers from Across the Spider-Verse to kind of hone this character's origin and everything. So very cool there. And it's going to be your first comic appearance of this version of Spider-Woman. We've got our A cover here. We also have a Pete Woods homage variant. And we have a Scott Forbes variant as well.
Next is Void Rivals #9. So this one is exciting because this is going to be the first appearance, excuse me, at least in the Energon universe, of Springer, the triple changer Autobot Springer. In this one, Derek and Salila, they are clinging to life, trudging through the wasteland that they've been going through for the last couple of issues now, when they run into Springer. I don't know why he's out there.
He's just hanging out there.
Yeah, just hanging out there. He's like, transforming to a helicopter and then to a car, just, having fun. But they're going to run into him. I don't really know, what he's going to do for them, if he's going to be friend or enemy, that kind of thing. But Springer's awesome. In the 86 movie, he goes, "I've got better things to do tonight than die." Like, that's one of the coolest lines ever. So I'm super excited to see him.
Feels like it's really going to also propel Void Rivals, another big leap in its kind of universe building.
Yeah, and we know from the Energon Universe Free Comic Day book that this universe is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. This whole Energon Universe stuff is growing quickly, and you guys will see what we mean on May 4th, but it's super cool. I cannot wait. So this is cool. We have our A cover, and then we have a Wingard cover.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Alpha #1. This is interesting. This is kind of bridging the gap between our 150 issue run of Ninja Turtles and our new Ninja Turtles #1 or TMNT #1. So this is by Tom Waltz and Jason Aaron, with art by Gavin Smith and Chris Burnham in their own kind of separate stories. But after the victory from the previous series, the Turtles have left New York pursuing other interests. which by this point, they don't feel like teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're kind of more mature Ninja Turtles.
They're like mid-20s Mutant Ninja
20
Turtles,
Mutant
yeah.
Turtles. But they're going off on their own. I don't know if they're splitting up or moving off together, but this leaves kind of a vacuum in New York. So what is going to happen there, especially with some of their old partners like Old Hob, Jenica, and those that they've kind of left behind? This is going to kind of set up the playing field for the next Ninja Turtles. And another teaser for the free comic book day book, the Ninja Turtles one, you're going to see some more of what's kind of filling in the place of the
Yeah.
missing turtles in New York. But really cool. This also has a special prequel to the new TMNT #1. This is going to be by Jason Aaron and Chris Burnham. And this is going to focus on Donatello. Now, before the new TMNT #1 drops, they're doing 4 one-shots on each of the turtles.
Well, no, it's actually issues 1 through 4.
Okay, issues
of
1
the
through
new
4.
series, and each one focusing on a turtle. Chris Burnham and Jason Aaron. The Donatello issue is number 4.
It's number 4
Yeah.
in that.
Mhm.
So this is going to give you a little taste of what that's going to be like as Donatello returns from the future where he was during the previous run, but he finds himself in an unexpected place. So if you're planning on reading that new TMNT #1, if you're excited about the free comic book day book, definitely get this one because I feel like this is kind of a helping hand into
Yeah.
the new TMNT world. So we've got our A cover right here. And we also have this Smith variant. Next up, we got other #1s because there's still more #1s to go.
We are going to look at Archie Comics Judgment Day #1. This is going to be a 3-issue miniseries. Actually, there's an advertisement for this in the back of the Archie Horror Free Comic Book Day book, which might fit in with some of what they're telling there. But this one sounds really cool. It's written by Aubrey Sitterson. The art is by Megan Hutchinson. And the world, I don't know how, but the world is just overrun with demons, and Archie is on a quest to rid Riverdale of all of the wicked kind, the monsters and whatever else is there. And this is interesting because he says he will have to destroy corrupted and possessed versions of the people closest to him using the destructive power of a captive friend. So I don't know what that's all about. Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But are his efforts truly good or the work of pure evil? Is he doing it for the right reasons or does he have an ulterior motive going on?
It's a little 50-50 on that cover.
Yeah, so Archie, it's hilarious that Archie Comics has some of the best horror books out, and they have a bunch of them too. And there's doing something interesting with them that we will talk about on our Free Comic Book Day show. But yeah, this is going to be part of that whole universe there.
So it's not a tie-in with Terminator 2.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Maybe he's the captive friend. Maybe he's got like the Terminator locked in a basement. He's using his eye or something. So we have our A cover right here. There is a Francesco Francavilla variant, which anytime he does
he's one of the architects of the Archie horror.
It's always great.
Archie.
There's a Jay Lee cover, and then there is a Rico Murakami cover.
Archie's one of the most serious-looking books out there too, with all of these. Next up, we've got DC Pride 2024 #1. One shot. It's always weird when they put the #1 on there when it's a one shot.
Yeah.
But like every year with their Pride specials, this is going to have various creators, including Al Ewing, Nicole Maines, Phil Jimenez, and more. We're going to get stories like Dreamer heads to her ancestral home planet for the first time, which I think is really cool. Dreamer's story is still kind of working itself out. We've got the graphic novel and all of that, but I'm excited to see Dreamer in kind of her own solo series for a little bit. We've got Jackson Hyde heads to Fourth World just in time for their annual Love Festival, which I can only imagine. When I thought about that, I was like, is it like opposite day? They're like, this is the worst day of the year. We hate love. Yeah. But
maybe it's on New Genesis and not Apocalypse.
That's true, yeah. But hopefully Granny Goodness factors into one of those.
She's like your stereotypical grandma, give me a big old wet kiss,
And then we also have a Poison Ivy goes spore hunting, which who knows what that's about, and more. So just celebrating the LGBTQIA world of the DC universe. These are always really popular, so check it out. We've got great covers. So we've got our A cover here by Kevin Wada. We've got a David Talaski wraparound variant. And we've got the Babs Tar variant, which is really nice
Yeah.
with Harley and Poison Ivy.
And next is Blood Squad 7, #1. This is a new book from Image Comics written by Joe Casey, and the art is by Paul Fry. And this is about a team called Blood Squad 7. 30 years ago, they were America's most popular superhero team. They were essentially celebrities. They're actually kind of like what Youngblood was when we
Oh,
read
yeah.
Youngblood #1 back in '92. They're celebrities and everybody loves them. They had multi-million-dollar endorsement deals. And they were just everywhere, right? Fighting crime, but also everywhere else in the public eye. Well, present day, there is a new generation of heroes that have taken up the mantle of Blood Squad 7. And it's interesting because this says that not really about the story itself, but just what the book is going to be like. It says that Blood Squad 7 will delve deep into 90s comic book themes with this imagining of what would happen if heroes from that decade returned to action after a 30-year absence. So that sounds really cool. So it sounds like these will have been heroes in the time in comics is a sort of a sliding scale,
Yeah.
but it sounds like they will have been comics in the '90s in their story, and then 30 years later they're going to come back and try to do it again. Kind of gives me Local Man vibes a little bit.
Yeah.
How it's sort of how that sort of revisits early days of Image Comics, that kind of thing. So this should be really fun. I'm
Team of
excited
people
for
with
this.
bad backs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now they have strict
Yeah,
bedtimes.
bad knees and acid reflux and all that kind of stuff. So this is our A cover, and then there is a Weston variant as well. That's your younger team, I guess, unless that's the original team in the '90s. But
That is a very 90s group shot.
yeah, the guy on the steps with the big shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we got notable 2s and 3s, continuations of series we want to make sure you don't miss out on because they either may have started already or haven't started yet, but time is up for getting your orders in. Starting with Star Wars Darth Maul Black, White, and Red #2. We just got #1 this week. I love #1. It was really, really cool, kind of Event Horizon horror story featuring Darth Maul. This one is by Mark Russell and Carlos Nieto, and Maul is sent to conquer a mining colony single-handedly, but the opposition is more than he bargained for as he faces a group called the Remainders. So not sure what they are going to be about, but sounds really cool. I'm on board for all of these. So we've got our A cover right here. We have that is a different book.
That is not Star Wars.
That is Deathstalker.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute.
There we go.
There we go.
And back to this. We've got the Delato variant. And then we also want to mention we have Star Wars Jango Fett #3. Just continuing this mini-series. We've got Jango versus Aura Singh in this one. Finally, the two kind of confront because she's kind of been in the background. I don't even think Jango is fully aware that he's being hunted by her. But also we're going to figure out who's the mysterious figure behind the heist that is igniting a war. So very cool in there with Jango Fett. And we also have the Phantom Menace 25th anniversary variant.
I can still see that exact moment in the Phantom
drops
Menace.
down off of the bridge.
Yeah. Next is Jackpot and Black Cat #3, and in this one, the deadly blackmail ring that they're dealing with, everything's starting to come to a head. It says that Black Cat's going to need all her luck, and Jackpot is going to have to hit it big if they want to save the city. I don't know. This actually kind of made it sound like this was the last issue, but I'm not sure.
This is issue 3?
Yeah, I don't think it's a 3-issue series, but they just, I don't know. It sounded like, I guess everything's starting.
final.
Yeah, maybe it's 4 issues and everything's starting to come to a head in this 3rd issue. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know that this is coming. If you got the first 2, don't miss this one. So this is our A cover. There is an Elizabeth Torque variant, and there is a Paco Medina black costume variant. I like that.
That's cool.
That's a good look.
Next up, we've got Feral #3. Not a whole lot of info about this one, but also I kind of don't want to know anything going into this because every issue so far has been a horrifying treat. So you've got, in the last one, the 3 cats have at least a direction they're going.
They have a goal.
They have a goal.
Yeah.
They kind of have a general path they're going to be taking. But will Elsie, Lord, and Patrick make it out of the woods unscratched or unbit? I don't know, because it's not looking good for them. It's a very dangerous woods out there. So we've got our A cover here. And we've got this Forcer and Fleeks. You know what this is.
Oh, Megan.
Yep. It's so really cool in there.
Wait, that's right?
Yep,
Megan?
with
Okay.
the 3 liner
Yeah.
for the E. Yep. So don't miss out on those.
And next is Sam and Twitch case files number 3. And in this one, the investigation takes a turn that neither Sam nor Twitch saw coming, and now they are the target of a vicious killer. Maybe the one that are they investigating a killer? I haven't read this yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't miss this one. You like the first two.
I really like the first
Yeah.
two, and it's very non-spawn related.
Right. It's just a crime story.
Yeah, so
right?
far
Yeah.
there's no like supernatural elements to it, but kind of in a refreshing way.
Yeah, no, that sounds. I want to jump on this. I'm probably going to get the trade, but yeah, I'm glad that you enjoyed them. It gives me, makes me happy for when the
Yeah.
trade comes out. So this is our A cover with Sam, and then there is a Twitch cover. This one is drawn by. Oh, they're both by Glapion.
Yeah, Jonathan Glapion, which is cool because he was, I don't know if he still is a lot of the times, Greg Capullo's inker, like back
Okay.
on Batman Court of the Owls and everything. So, it's kind of a roundabout way of like Capullo on Original Spawn. You
Right.
have Glapion doing the covers for
Did
this.
those connect? It doesn't look like it.
No, the buildings are a little bit different.
Yeah.
but-
Okay.
Next up, we got Blow Away number 2. I really like number 1 of this, and I believe we sold out of it. This is a really cool story. Bryn in this one is convinced that she photographed a murder up in this remote place in Canada, but it says that her camera is frozen and has to wait for it to thaw out. Even though she saw the photos, I'm not sure if it refroze or something. But she goes to local authorities, but that only makes her more paranoid as they're not quite straightforward with her. So the mystery keeps building. This is a very, very cool story. So we've got our A cover here, and we also have a boss variant.
And next is Deathstalker number 2. The first one, you really enjoyed that one as well.
Yeah.
In this one, Deathstalker is now a member of the most elite military unit in all the realms, and he and his new friend Jotak are assigned to clean out the Forgotten Keep known as Grimvault. And Deathstalker is going to have to use his particular wizard murdering skills or fall victim to a magic darker than his little black heart. So that doesn't sound too great. I just like that his skills, like on his resume, he says, I can kill wizards really well. So this sounds really fun. This is our A cover right here. And then I think if you go... Okay.
Yep.
I don't know what that other cover was.
Yeah, I don't know
I'm
why I
not
threw
sure.
that in there.
Yeah, but so this is the number 1 issue, the second printing. So if you missed out on the first one, now you can get this. And both of these, the second print of number 1 and number 2, comes out on the same day, May 29th. So you could order both of these this weekend and have issue 1 and 2 right there together.
Yeah, and I know this was a big hit. I saw Tim Seeley posting his stuff about.
Oh, nice.
He wasn't. He knew it was cool, but he didn't realize like the overwhelming response for
Very
this.
cool.
I thought the number 1 was fun. It's crazy. It's over the top. It's super mature. All of that, but just in the way you want a book like this. So very, very cool. Next up, we got cool covers. Just continuations of series that have really cool covers. Starting with Spider-Boy number 7, and this is a big one. This is the conclusion of Spider-Boy's first big story arc. So his first 7-issue story arc. This one is going to be guest starring all the people that have previously appeared in this. So you've got Captain America, Thor, Squirrel Girl, the Toy Soldier, which that was a great issue.
Yeah, that was great.
Miles, Peter, all of them come together, and Bailey's life and this comic will never be the same. So I imagine this is going to be pretty big, and this has kind of been an origin story arc to some extent.
Or I guess a reintroduction, since we're supposed to have known him, but when he got untangled from the web. And I wonder if if this is going to tie into what's going on over in Superior Spider-Man with the Superior Spider-Boy.
This one I've got an open mind to. Just whatever you want to give me, I will take.
Yeah, we are big fans of Spider-Boy. In case you haven't heard us say it before, it is just a super fun comic book. Like that's that. I just look for fun in books, and this has got everything I like.
So we've got our awesome A cover right here.
Yeah, I love that.
We also have a Baldion black costume variant. It looks like a black costume in a black and white world. And I did also want to mention, this is not Spider-Boy. This is Spider-Punk Arms Race number 4. Thought this was a really fun variant, though. This is the CF Villa Stormbreakers variant with just Spider-Punk shredding on his guitar with a flaming skull head.
Yeah, Ghost Punk.
Ghost Spider-Punk.
Ghost Spider-Punk, yeah, I guess.
Rider.
All right, so this is Wolverine number 50. So this is the last issue of this run of Wolverine. It is also the last issue or the last part of the Sabretooth War storyline. It's the final showdown between Sabretooth and Wolverine. Everything's final. This is it for everything until we get our new Wolverine series later in the year, which we think is drawn by Craig Capullo. We don't quite know
Yeah.
yet for sure. But so this is the like I said the end of the Sabretooth War story, but it's also going to contain some short stories celebrating 50 issues of this run, but also 50 years of Wolverine.
Wow.
And it says there will be some special surprises as well. Have no idea what that might
Wolverine
be.
has a fourth claw that comes
Right.
out of the side.
Pops out of his nose or something. Yeah. But yeah, so don't miss this last issue if you've been getting this series. So this is the Frank Miller variant. There is a Justin Mason Snicked variant. I like that
These
one.
are cool.
Yeah, there was a Spider-Man Thwip. And wasn't there another one?
Is there a Hulk Smash or
Maybe.
something like
Yeah.
that?
And then there is a Marco Cicchetto, which just always looks great.
I mean, it looks like his covers for Wolverine versus Predator, or Predator versus
Yeah.
Wolverine. But that just makes me want him to be the interior artist.
I
on
know.
it.
I just want him to draw almost everything.
Next up, we've got Rise of the Powers of X, number 5. This one's interesting. It says the X epic concludes. So I think the final story in this Krakoan age is going to be in X-Men, in that big like double size or triple
Number
size.
like Legacy 700.
It's something
I
like
think.
that, where it's got them all on the cover
Right.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
that's that one.
But this seems to be the last issue of this kind of mini series that's helping wrap up
Yeah.
the Krakoan era stuff. So very interested to see how we get from this, because we've both read the Free Comic Book Day
Mm-hmm.
Uncanny X-Men little short story, and there's still interested to see how they get from this to that.
Right.
And you'll all know
Yeah.
that when you read the Free Comic Book Day book, but very interesting.
But yeah, this is, the tail end though, because this comes out on May 29th, and we know that this new era of X-Men starts in June. So, I mean, this is it. Like it's done.
And this is the Carmen Carnero Foreshadow variant, which I believe you see Kate Pryde, Emma Frost, and those are going to be one of the cast of
The Exceptional
Exceptional
X-Men. Yeah.
X-Men.
This is Avengers Twilight number 6. So this is also the end of this miniseries, which has been great so far. There is a horrific bomb that has been dropped, and its fallout can't be contained. That's what the solicitation says. But if you read the end, if you saw the end of issue number 5, you know what that bomb actually is. Or I guess if you look at this cover, or maybe if you look at the A cover, you can sort of figure out what the bomb is and all that stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know this is the end. So if you've been enjoying this series, don't miss this. And this is the Declan Shalvey Lightning Bolt variant. We've had a few of these over the last couple of weeks.
Next up, we've got Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver number 4. This is interesting because it's coming out roughly the same time as
I was
the
gonna
new
look at that.
Scarlet Witch series starts. So
Well, this comes out. Okay, actually, they're on FOC the same date, but this comes out on May 29th. But the Scarlet Witch number 1 doesn't come out until June 12th. So there's going to be about
Okay.
2 weeks between the two of them.
So this will end. You'll get the new Scarlet Witch number 1.
Yeah.
But this one is there's a look into the future of Scarlet Witch, which I'm guessing will then reflect into the new number 1.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe some storylines we'll be seeing. But this is the last issue of the miniseries, and this is the really cool Chad Harden black costume variant, which
I like that look for Quicksilver.
it does look
Yeah.
cool on Quicksilver. And then we also have this really cool Marguerite Sauvage variant, which is very
Brady Bunch.
Brady Bunch, kind of first 2 episodes of WandaVision a little
Yeah, a
bit.
little bit.
So very cool.
And this is Nightwing number 114. So this, speaking of ends, this is the beginning of the end. The beginning of Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo's final story
Part
arc.
1 of 5.
Right,
So-
yeah. So this is Fallen Grace in part 1. So Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo are going to finish this series out. It's going to go through issue 118, and then they are going to be hopping off the book. And I don't know what's going
They
to happen
haven't
after
announced
that.
anything past that.
Not yet. So in this one, this is the culmination of Heartless's sabotage of Nightwing. How he somehow has caused him to lose his ability to leap. He sort of made him scared of heights, that kind of thing. You know, Nightwing. He's part of the Bat family. He used to be an acrobat, a trapeze artist, so he's used to being up in the sky, swinging around. But he's been scared to do that for the last little while. So this is the culmination of all that stuff. And I wonder if this like takes place a little bit in the future because he's bearded. You can see Bitewing there is all grown up a little bit.
Yeah.
Not a puppy anymore. So we'll just have to wait and see, what this entails. But yeah, Tom Taylor and Bruno Redondo's last hurrah on Nightwing. So this is the A cover by Bruno Redondo, and there is a Dan Mora cover, which always looks great. And then there is a Daniel Sampere variant as well. I love the mountains.
Which is also kind of a reflective to Nightwing #1, right?
Or 70 whatever. The
beginning of their run.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like him with the beard.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we've got Titans #11. And if you read the previous issue of Titans, you saw this character under construction. We'll say that. So in this one, Waller turns things up a notch with the help of Dr. Morrow, Tio Morrow, and has created a weapon to take out the Titans, which I believe is this character. The Nadia, the character. So I'll be interested to see, Tio Morrow, what he's put into this new kind of android character.
Yeah, and I feel like this is going to sort of bleed into Absolute Power.
Yeah.
I think.
So, very interesting one there. And this is the Lucas Meyer design variant.
Next is Wonder Woman #9. In this one, Wonder Woman retreats into the arms of Steve Trevor as the Sovereign's grip on her psyche tightens. But I don't know if you read issue #8. I don't know if that's literal. Like, I don't know if she's really going to do that, like in the real world, or if Sovereign's still messing with her head, like he was in issue #8. And then the backup story, there's another backup story with Trinity, and this one it says Trinity lets the dogs out. So I'm hoping maybe it's like a Crypto and an Ace, right? Maybe the Baja Man will cameo, or they'll be like, "Oh, that's who it is." That's who let the dogs out. But yeah, maybe Crypto and Ace, the Bat Hound, will show up.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Oh, this is our A cover. There is a Julian Totino Tedesco variant, and then there is a Stefan Sejic variant.
Next up, we've got Catwoman #65. Some great covers for this, and this is the last act in the 9 Live story that's been going on, I believe, 9 issues, right? Wasn't each issue
yeah, supposed to be.
a life? So this is our Villalobos variant. Very cool. And we also have a Ratchta Lynn variant as well. Cool.
This is the final issue of Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. We're wrapping up a whole bunch of series on this show. This one features an all-out war between the DC Universe and the monsters of the Monsterverse. And can the combined might of the Justice League and Godzilla and Kong defeat the new Mechagodzilla and an even more deadly hybrid Titan? So I don't know what that is. We saw that Lex was, sort of working on the Mechagodzilla, but I don't know what this other hybrid Titan is. So it'll be cool to just see. I'm expecting this to be just wall-to-wall action, no holds barred. So this should be fun. So this cover here is the Jim Lee variant. There's a Dan Mora variant, and there is also a Christian Deuce Kong as that's right, Kong as Green Lantern foil variant.
I hope this happens. I hope that he shows his ability to overcome great fear and he becomes the new Green Lantern.
I feel like it will. Like if it was ever going to happen, like everything in this series has been over the top. I feel like this has a good chance of happening.
I'm gonna get Godzilla to be a Red Lantern, and he just like blows out the magma fire. Okay, next up we have Batman Superman World's Finest #25. And this one, Batman and Superman must travel to the 5th dimension to do battle with the omnipotent Mayhem. Still dealing with our 5th dimension imps and all of that in here. We've got this is the Jeff Deckel variant, which is really cool.
So this is Cobra Commnder #5. We talked about this one a couple weeks back, but the FOC date for this got pushed up to now. So if you did pre-order it, when we first talked about it, no worries. Your order is still good. It's just they gave extra time to order it, basically. And in this one, it features the rise of Cobra Commnder. You can see there on the cover. I'm presuming that, although I still feel like there's a lot that needs to happen for him to be the head of Cobra.
Yeah.
But this is going to continue his rise to that position. And in order to do that, he's going to make a deal with a powerful ally to build this new army. But can that ally be trusted? Probably not.
Probably not.
But I can't wait for it. The end of Duke was awesome. This is going to be awesome. We know that we're getting Scarlet and Destro. And we got some posters here today of that, which looks really cool.
Yep, gives you a little hint on those posters of who
who's going to be in each book.
Yeah, and some nice surprises.
Yeah, for sure. So this is our A cover, and then there is a Santo Loco variant with, I guess that's his new partner.
Yeah. That's the thing too. It's like, do you really see Destro letting Cobra Commander command over him? Destro seems like he wouldn't be too cool with that unless he is secretly scheming.
We'll probably see more of that in the Destro
Yeah,
series.
yeah. Next up, we've got Local Man, number 10. This is exciting because this is a new story arc and a new jumping on point. We just mentioned Local Man earlier in the show. If you're a fan of kind of the 90s wave of comics and kind of how they reflect now, this is awesome for that. And I love these covers. So we've got this one. This is the Portaccio.
Is that not just a photograph? That looks so much like a photograph.
I know.
Maybe Portaccio drew the cover and then they put it on a shelf, and I don't know.
If you look next to it, I believe that's Bloodstrike on the left.
Yeah,
Freak Force below him.
I think that's Supreme. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love all of this.
Is that Wildstar?
It might be Wildstar. Yeah. I see those and it just makes me happy.
Yeah.
So we've got this cover, and we also have the Sealy, and this is a great homage to Fathom number 1. Mm-hmm. So just awesome. I love this whole thing.
This is Thundercats number 4. In this one, this is the end of the first story arc as well. So many ending things today. Not the end of the series, just the end of the first story arc. The Sword of Omens is broken. The team is split over what to do with Calica. You know, the whole team is in disarray because of all this stuff. Now is the perfect time for Mum Ra to strike. He is going to cast aside his feeble appearance. He's going to get all swole.
He's going
to go Super Saiyan, I guess, and attack with his army of mummified mutants. Will Lion-O prove himself to be a worthy leader when all this goes down? I guess we'll have to wait and see.
He's going to need to get his eyes off of Calica.
That's first. Right, yeah. So we have our Liefeld cover right here, and there is a Hacer variant.
Which is a nice homage.
Yeah.
To first
Basic Calico, Calica sinks her claws in. Oh, I wanted to say, like, face it, Lion-O, you just hit the kitty litter or something like that. You just hit the catnip or something like that.
I mean, especially with Face It Tiger.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to be like, Face It Tiger is like, wait, I'm a lion.
Yeah, I'm a lion. Yeah, Tigra's over there, you know.
Okay, next up we've got Conan the Barbarian, number 11. Just a really fun cover done by Sean Galloway, who's been doing all of your Saturday morning covers. But Conan did have a Saturday morning cartoon.
At one point,
but it did not look this jolly and fun. Next up, we got graphic novels and more like second, third, and further on printings, and some cool collections.
Like this Moon Knight by Jed MacKay Omnibus. This is going to be $100. It's going to collect Jed MacKay's entire run on Moon Knight. You know, obviously he's doing Vengeance of the Moon Knight right now, but this is just the Moon Knight title, issues 1 through 30. This is also going to contain the Devil's Reign Moon Knight tie-in. It's going to contain the Moon Knight Annual from 2022 and a few other books as well. It was an awesome series. It was really cool, and now it's all going to be collected in one spot, and it's going to make for a great omnibus. So this is our standard edition cover by Greg Capullo, and then there is a direct market cover from Art Adams.
Yeah.
Very
cool. Next up, we've got Duke, trade paperback, interesting enough, called Volume 1. They've done that before and never done a Volume 2, but still, they knowingly put a Volume 1 on there.
Yeah.
So that's...
or is it Energon Universe Volume 1? But the Transformers one will be out before this.
I think it's just called Duke
Volume 1. Yeah.
So, very cool. But this collects issues 1 through 5 of the Duke miniseries. So if you missed out, I just want to get this to read it again.
Yeah, all in one sitting.
This will be great.
Yeah.
But highly recommended from us. And they are doing the same thing they do. It seems like the new thing. This is the regular edition. And then there's the direct market exclusive variant you can only get through comic book stores and the like. Oh, and it is... $14.99. That's a really good price.
That's a good price, especially for a book this good.
Yeah.
All right, so this one sounds really cool. This is called Dr. Werthless, the Man Who Studied Murder. So this is all about Dr. Frederick Wertham, who back in the 50s, he tried to destroy the comic industry, basically. He published the book, The Seduction of the Innocent, talking about how comics were corrupting children with their tales of murder and horror and that kind of thing.
Led to the creation of the Comics Code.
Yeah, Comics Code came out of all that. So, from a comics fan perspective, not a super great guy, but that's what this book is kind of about. So it's written by Harold Schechter and Eric Powell, and the art is by Eric Powell. And so, like I said, us comic fans are like, oh, he tried to kill comics, and the Comics Code came out. It censored everything. What a jerk, right? But, and I found this really interesting. It says that outside of all that, he actually had some really nice accomplishments, like opening a clinic in Harlem for disadvantaged African Americans, and he played an important role in the desegregation of the nation's schools, and in the fact that he believed that murder could be done away with if we just had a proper understanding of the mental and social roots of criminal violence and what makes people want to murder other people. And because of that, he took a really humane approach to some of the most notorious homicidal maniacs of his time, in order to understand what makes them tick. Basically, he actually tried to get to know them, to try to do better things. But on the other side of that coin, he also exploited their stories for his own commercial ends. So he did some lousy things.
Like anybody, a complex human,
a complex
who has
person,
many
yeah.
sides.
So I think this is very interesting because I only know him from the perspective of a comics fan.
He's the enemy in every comic book documentary.
Right, yeah. So I think this sounds wildly interesting to get to know him a little bit more. What did he do outside of, crapping on comics or whatever, So this sounds really fun. Just the one cover, and this one is going to be $29.99.
I think it's going to be well worth it, especially if you're a comics fan from a long
I'm going to get this for sure.
Next up, we have Rugrats, Bestest Comics Trade Paperback Volume 1. So this collects issues 1 through 8 of the 2017 series, back when Boom relaunched Rugrats, and it was actually really good. It's all new stories and everything. Box Brown wrote a lot of it. Felt very much in the spirit of Rugrats, but the series just kind of ended, and I thought it was pretty popular. There was a Reptar special and everything, but hopefully this kind of reignites it, because it is a lot of fun. So if you've never checked it out, this is 1 through 8, and it is $16.99.
Well, this is the Crisis on Infinite Earths #2 Facsimile edition. We just had the first one on FOC not too long ago, and like I said, I think we are going to get 12 of these over the course of the next 12 months. So just reprinting Crisis #2, complete with ads and everything like that. So I'm definitely going to try to get all of these. And there is a foil version, right? So
and a sketch version.
And a sketch version, so I'm just going to try to get all the foil ones. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know, if you're trying to do the same thing, #2 is on order this week.
Next up, we have, speaking of Duke, this is the second printing, or third, Duke #2, third printing. Right. So wanted to point that out. And I'm not sure the artist, it almost looks like Villalobos or someone like that, but it does not have it listed. But very cool in there. We also have, I accidentally put this in the wrong place, but this is Feral #1 third printing. So I think this is going to probably go to a couple more printings with how popular Feral is. So don't miss out on the third printing. We also have Transformers #2 fifth printing. We have Transformers #4 third printing. That one's really cool.
Yeah.
And we have Void Rivals #2 seventh printing. Crazy. We'll see how many printings this goes, but
I can't even remember the last time something went that many printings.
It was either Venom or Thor. The Donny Cates ones had a lot of printings. Maybe Venom got up to maybe 9 or 10 printings, but it's rare it makes it past maybe 3.
Right.
So really cool ones there.
And well deserved, right? These books are great. So I love that they're giving people so many chances to get these, because they are all very, very good. And this is Drawing Blood #1 second print. The first issue came out this week.
Yeah,
wasn't it this week?
That sounds right.
Yeah,
every read it so.
Yeah, our weeks are shifted because we read books early for our Monday show, so it's always hard to remember if it was this week or last week. But came out recently. I'm pretty sure it was this week. I think I talked about it Monday. But anyway, second printing. This is going to be a 12-issue series. And yeah, if you missed out the first time, it was really interesting, kind of taking elements of maybe the life of Kevin Eastman, but dropping them into like a crime comic. So yeah, very cool. If you missed out the first one, the second printing, order that this weekend. And yeah.
And then we've got Edge of the Spider-Verse #3 second printing. This is the first appearance of Star Spider, who I knew this was going to be big, just given... I feel like you can say costume design and be like, that's a great costume. I think this one's awesome. So, first appearance of Star Spider, sold out, getting another printing. That is it for Comics from the Future. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, head over to infinityflux.net right now to place your pre-orders. Very important that you do that so you don't miss out on anything. You're not late to the party. You're not missing gaps in your collections. That is the most important thing. Also, that you read them and enjoy them.
Right. That's probably the most important thing.
That's the most important thing, actually.
Yeah.
But also, reminder, our big free comic book day video coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it's going to be, but we've got like 60-something comics to go over. But you're going to hear about Blood Hunt free comic book day. You're going to hear about the Amazing Spider-Man and the Ultimates free comic book day book. In particular, Energon Universe, which, just putting a hint out there, may be the big one this year. That is awesome.
That one blew my mind. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We won't spoil anything, but yeah, you're going to want to get that one.
Absolute, the DC Absolute Power. I mean, this is like setting the stage for the rest of the year's storytelling. So you don't want to miss that. So head on over here tomorrow to check that out. Or maybe when you're watching this, it's already posted. Who knows?
Right.
But as a reminder too, Free Comic Book Day, May 4th. Whether you shop with us or you shop with another local comic book store, definitely go support them, because that's what it's about, is going into your local comic book store, getting the free comics, spending a little bit of money with them too to show your support. They're always doing something fun for Free Comic Book Day, so don't miss out on that. And I guess until next time.
Yeah, leave us also, if you made it all the way through, leave us I know we already did this once, but leave us a drop of blood emoji, because we got the blood hunt book.
Yeah, we got a lot of blood coming out.
So that when, Jason looks through the comments, he's like, why is everybody bleeding? Oh my gosh, there's a problem.
There's a problem.
Yeah.
But anyways, until next time. See ya.